Brad Shattuck, Kristen Shattuck, Steve Smith, Tracy Spencer, Suzanne Tucker, Trey Watson, Henry Whittick, Jonathan Weiss, Shirley West, and Shirley Wiseman. That's the list of delegates. County alternate list: Cynthia Matthews, Thomas Hearn, Stephen McFadden, Darren Pounds, Jason Rotherman, John David Chrisman, Steve Manning, Kathy Gordon, Grant Mills, Allison Rogers, Bill Bishop, Tim Yessen, Michelle Clark, and Abby Dodd. These are the list of delegates and also alternates, and I move for their election.
Motion for discussion.
There's a motion and a second on the floor, and it is time now for discussion. And according to the rules, please stand and state your name and address.
Michael Herter, Lexington, 67 Turkeyville Road, Unit 37. Herter, H-U-R-T-E-R. My discussion would be that there, at least my name was not called, and I emailed and asked to be included on the list. And I have the feeling there are at least a few others as well. But I would like to ask those who are here and want to be delegates to stand, and that my motion also is that there be some sort of preferential treatment given to those that are here, that we can be included on the list. And whether it's delegates or alternates, I don't particularly mind. I would just like to go. Thank you. And it looks like Frank Harris would like to speak as well.
If you'll stand, Mr. Harris, and state your name and address.
Frank Harris, lifelong Republican, lifelong resident of Lexington. I live at 282 Old Kingston Road. I have been extremely active in the Republican Party. I too requested to be a delegate, and I would like to make a motion that anyone that's actually here that bothered to show up have first priority on being a regular delegate, not an alternate, and that the people that are not here be moved to the back of the line. I have contributed over $2,000 in the last 4 years to Republican candidates. I have walked literally miles for at least 10 Republican candidates over the last 4 years, and I think that the Tea Party element of the Republican Party is getting short shift here and needs to be allowed to have an equal voice in the party.
Thank you for your comments, and we do have a motion on the floor which we will vote on, and then if that motion fails, we will consider your motion. Yes, sir.
Derek Holmes, 1498 Vintage Circle, Lexington. I would just like to say, based on the names that were given as far as delegates and alternates, that I think they should stand. But I think I understand what the gentlemen are saying. Anything that's left over and above that, beyond that, where delegates are not filled, perhaps people that are here present today would give preferential treatment. Is that pretty much what you were?
Yes, and not as alternates either, as regular full delegates.
Okay. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I just have a question. Dawn Cloyd, 4390 Fort Springs, Lexington, Kentucky. I'm unclear, Michael, if you're proposing that people who are here that did not nominate their name as delegates get to be considered at this point, or only the people that submitted their names to be delegates that were not listed here.
I wanted to open it up to anyone who's here, including those who did not submit their name.
I'm new to this process, and I would put my name in the hat, but I would at least like the people who previously submitted their names that were not on the list to be able to be considered here. I know that there are several people that have worked very, very hard. I've witnessed, myself included, I didn't submit my name, so I'm not complaining. I didn't put my name forward, but if Frank did and Michael did, I know that they have worked tremendously hard for Republican candidates, and I would like to support that.
Thank you for your comments.
Go ahead. Is there a limit on the number of delegates or alternates we can have?
Yes, we are limited to 75 delegates and 75 alternates. And I will restate the criteria that the committee used in choosing delegates. They looked at people that had expressed an interest, that had worked in support of the Republican Party and Republican candidates, and that includes not working for non-Republican candidates. There are people that expressed an interest that have donated money to candidates who are not Republicans and who have worked for candidates who are not Republicans. This is the Republican Party, and it's a privilege to be represented at the district and state conventions. That's what the committee used in its decision-making process.
I would like to propose that some people who are Republicans are Republican in name only, and there are other people that are not within the Republican Party that actually represent the platform that the Republican Party is supposed to represent. So people who, like myself, consider myself a very true Republican might be disqualified for having signed a petition, for example, for somebody to run for office, even if I didn't vote for that person. Okay, so I think that there are a lot of people that are true Republicans and uphold the platform and the ideas for which we are supposed to stand and should not be disqualified. We are disqualifying people who really are the future and the leadership of the Republican Party. And I think it's a reason that the Republican Party is losing strength, because we're putting out people who stand for principle, have character, and aren't just for party over principle.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I ask that we call the question.
Motion to postpone.
Motion to call the question. Is there a second to that motion, which is on the floor? Second by Christy Lewis.
Motion to
And the motion
postpone.
to call the question is not debatable. So we will vote on that motion first. That motion means, are you ready to vote on the main motion? All in favor of calling the question, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no.
No.
Okay, we will need
Call
a
for
rising
division.
vote. We will
Call
need
for
a-
division.
Yes, sir, thank you. Oh, okay, I'll need two of my tellers to come forward, please. And I'll ask everybody, hang on till they come forward. Beth, if you'll count this side of the room, you two, Ben. Trey, count this side of the room, and report the results to the secretary. This, we're voting now on whether or not to call the question. The question is whether we're ready to call the question, which is approval, in order to approve the slate that's been presented by our nominations committee. All in favor of calling the question, please stand. We can have the votes, please. The ayes are 72, nays. Sorry, my bad, apologize. Okay, be seated, please. Sorry. Those in opposition, everybody that votes no, please stand.
Sir, are you standing or are you videoing? Thank you.
are 72, the noes are 29. So the motion to call the question carries. Now we're ready to vote on the main motion, which is to approve the slate as put forth by the nominating committee. All those in favor of that motion, please stand. Sir?
I made a motion, does that not get voted on?
There was a motion on the floor prior to that. We have to vote on that motion. So all those in favor of the motion to approve the slate from the nominating committee, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, we'll again have a rising vote and do it the same way. All those in favor of the motion, please stand.
I voted for Chris Lincoln last time, not voting for him this time.
Okay, will you be seated, please? All those opposed, please stand.
Twice, you stand back up. You should double check.
We have 82 votes in favor of the motion, 29 opposed, so the motion carries, and we do have our slate of delegates for the convention. The
I have
next
a
order
motion
of
to
business
amend-
is the,
I have a motion to amend to allow those who were excluded to be added as alternates. Do I have a second?
the motion, excuse me, the motion has already carried and been passed. Thank you. The next order of business is the report of the Resolutions Committee. The chair recognizes Andy Hightower, Chair of the Resolutions Committee.